everybody. Ooh, creepy lighting effect.
Yep.
Mark here again, Movie Dude, and my friend and co-host for this episode, Augie.
What's up?
And we just got back from seeing The Gallows. Ooh. You don't need to do that.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay, so The Gallows, here's the thing. I'm a horror movie fan, okay? I'm pretty much a horror movie fan.
Me too.
You know, kind of like classic horror, you know, like Dracula and Frankenstein and all that.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist, yes. By the way, I'm still not seeing that remake. Ever. But yeah, but The Gallows, it's basically one of those found footage movies, similar to Paranormal Activity, The Blair Witch Project, and Cloverfield. Which Cloverfield and the Paranormal Activity movies are pretty good on their own. And, you know, this was pretty much no exception, except this time it was almost like a cross between Insidious and, you know, a little bit of Poltergeist mixed in with, you know, its own sort of original fate.
Yeah.
So the story, on October 29th, 1993, a young boy named Charlie Gribble died during a high school production of The Gallows in some freak accident.
Yeah.
20-some years later, the same high school is performing the exact same show. So this guy, whose name you can never really remember, has an idea. Destroy the set so that no one can perform a show ever again.
So, like, the night before the play, these... I don't know if it's 4 or 3.
Let's see, there's the guy who acts kind of like a jerk. There's the, guy who's pretty quiet. There's the this hot girl, and there's this cheerleader. So it's about 4.
Yeah, so like four high school students break into the school the night before the play, and they're trying to destroy the set. However, they don't notice that there's somebody watching them.
Yeah. So in the middle of the night, his so-called friends, as Augie just addressed, try to disassemble the set but get locked in. The rest of the movie, we're not going to spoil too much, but let's just say it is haunted by the ghost of Charlie Gribble. If I'm even getting his last name right. I think, wasn't it Gribble? Or,
I don't know.
Charlie Gribble. Anyway, so yeah, he basically haunts the place now, and it's funny because we had seen stuff like this before. We had seen... you know, the Paranormal Activity films, and, you know, the Blair Witch Project, and, you know, Poltergeist, and, you know, all these different sort of haunted house movies.
Yeah, all of these horror films are pretty similar to all those movies that he just said.
Yeah, but this movie has a different spin on it. It was almost kind of like, sort of like it took place in a completely different setting, which I liked where that was going. However, I wish that the writing could have been a little bit better. Like you have these 4 stereotypes, and then the whole beginning half is just kind of tedious. It's like in Cloverfield, you know, where they prepared for the party of like this guy who's going away. I mean, it's not really necessary because, you know, I understand is to ease us into, you know, the terror, but the terror came in early on in the film, where we saw the high school production, you know, just get destroyed by this tragedy, and then the suspense has sort of dropped a notch because, at least with Cloverfield, they sort of eased us in very slowly, but in here, but we already saw the terrible accident. And then you go into this, like, boredom vein where they're trying to get ready for this play. And actually, for the record, they sort of... This woman, who's dressed as one of the characters from the show, she makes these flyers, you know, like in most shows and productions, you see, like, these little flyers. Almost exactly like the one from 20 years ago. So it was almost kind of like... It's almost like all these people are horrible. All these people are horrible.
I know. I mean, give credit to the bad actors.
Right? Well, here's the thing with found footage movies. The acting has to be believable.
I mean, it felt so real. Once you see this movie, oh my god, you'll feel like your body's been like, oh my god, it's been running a mile. So I must warn you, be cautious of this movie. Because there's some parts where like you'll jump and your heart will be racing and stuff like that. But after you come out of that movie, you'll be like, oh my god, what did I just see?
Yeah, it's very intense.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that, you know how some movies like, you know, Willard or It's Alive, you know, where the advertising tells you, don't see this movie alone. Don't see this movie by yourself. Get with one of your friends and go take them to see this movie.
Yes, please. Do not bring your children with you as well.
No.
No way. I warn you, this movie will scare the heck out of you. If you want to go see this movie, please bring a grown-up or a couple of your friends with you. That's all I have to say.
But the thing is, who would take their kids to an R-rated horror film?
Oh, my bad.
If your kids do want to see this,
go right ahead. But I
that's
must
your
warn
call.
you.
That's your call.
But
we're not responsible.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, back to the movie. These people are horrible. Like, every single person in this movie is so idiotic and, like, mean. Like, this guy who basically, like, I think his name was Richie or something, he is just a jerk. Like, all across the board. He
treats people like crap.
Exactly. He doesn't care at all about anything, and it takes him this realization when he gets locked into the school, and then the ghost of Charlie.
Oh my god.
It takes him back to make him realize it. And these other people, they didn't want to be a part of this in the first place. Yeah. But then they're locked into his high school, trying to take down his set.
Trying to find a way out.
Exactly, because this guy who was an idiot and a moron just let him into this stupid thing.
Yes.
It was.
Oh my god. And I must warn you.
They couldn't make these people a lot nicer, but nope. You made them jerks. Whatever. That's.
Yeah.
That is. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did not like anyone in this movie. So yeah, he was trying. I mean, the only one that I find even remotely relatable was this girl named Pfeiffer, who she was more the observer, who she wanted to put the show on, but it was like, nope, you know, when this cheerleader girl tells Pfeiffer about what they're doing, I mean, we can easily wait to Pfeiffer because she's more the observer. Outside of that, everyone else are just idiots and jerks.
Yeah, they never treat the people right. I mean, when you're in high school, you should treat the people with respect. Seriously.
Well, also you need to write them as if they're likable characters, but they're not.
But they're not. They're complete jerks and buffoons.
But let us get to what you really came here for.
Yeah.
Is it scary?
Is it fake?
Yes! It is scary!
And
it is, oh my god. The whole thing.
Yeah.
These found footage movies usually do a good job of trying to scare you.
Yes. Once you see this movie, oh my god, creatures pop out everywhere. I mean,
and also there's like this, there's like the ghost of, Charlie. He, it's just crazy. It's like this ghost that stalks, and it's just so suspenseful all the way through.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Even in one part where they try to pull down the fire alarm, you cannot escape it. Yeah. It's like, and that heightened the suspense so much. I was just thinking like, okay, what is gonna happen now? Yeah. And we're not gonna spoil what the terrifying thing looks like in the movie, but let's just say, once you actually see it in a full, like the full, you know, like when it's right in front of you, you will be scared out of your mind.
Yes, and once you see this movie, it will haunt you forever.
You know what this movie reminds me of? It reminds me of this one horror film from, I think, the 1970s, where, I forgot the name of it, but play the trailer of it. It was basically this, these group of actors who are wandering around this abandoned theater, and then there's like this killer that's basically stalking them. It reminded me a lot of that.
Yes.
And I think that, you know, it's a really creative idea, It's just I wish the characters were unrelatable and you know,
cruel
people you want to see die, because oftentimes that's what these type of teenage horror films do.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect movie at all. It has faults, but for God's sakes, it is terrifying.
Yes. Once you see this movie, oh my gosh, you will be scared out of your pants. So be cautious.
It was funny because we went to see this, and there was like almost a full house.
Yes.
And they were all like, they were all jumping, and they were like, bah! And it was just intense. I was just thinking like,
oh my god.
Okay, big.
I know, right? Yeah.
Some of them even laughing. I was just like,
I know. So yeah. So
the ending. We'll just give us a brief mention. The ending
is, I don't know. I mean,
I can't really say anything on the ending. I just can't. There's, on the one hand, it's interesting, but at the same time, it's really bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, the last, like, 5 minutes is just weird.
Yeah.
It's like a cross between a cop-out and sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just...
Yeah.
I wasn't a big a fan of the ending, but the last jump scare was fantastic. The last jump scare got us.
Yes.
We won't reveal it. We will not reveal it, but the last jump scare got both of us.
Yes.
Oh
my gosh.
I was about to like fly through the roof.
Oh my
I was
god.
just thinking,
and my heart
oh
was
god,
like pounding. Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing with me. I can sit through any horror film and be fine, because I know that it's not real. You know it's not real. You know
we all know that it's not real.
We all know that. But at the same time, we can't leave a theater without thinking how it impacted us in some way. I do theater productions, and this sort of hits home with me in a way, because I do theater, and the fact that it takes place on a high school stage, it was just creepy for me, to say the least.
Same here. If you do theater class or any other theater productions,
you'll relate to this movie in some way.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So, like I said before, be cautious of this movie.
It's not perfect. It's not a great film by any means. I mean, there are better horror films out there, but as an intense thriller, I would say see it anyway, because when it's projected on a much larger screen with a much with a huge surround system, it's intense.
Yes.
And when you're watching in the dark, it's more creepy.
Oh my gosh.
I still I give it a like a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Not great, but it's very intense, and I still say see it anyway.
Yeah, see it. So
what would you give it?
I would give it like a 2.5.
We still say see it anyway.
Yeah, sure.
It may not be great, but it was intense.
Yes. Intense.
So see it anyway.
Yeah.
But do not see it alone. And again, I want to just thank you for being like a co-host, and
no problem.
I
no problem, man. No problem.